Handling objections is all about being prepared and developing certain traits. Salespeople that are effective, 1, anticipate objections and develop appropriate common sense responses. 2, deal with objections they know are going to arise. And 3, empathize with the customer. And 4, are always truthful. As you gain experience with your product in your industry and with your customers, you will hear different types of objections or customer concerns. You'll become familiar with 2, 3, or 4 different objections that you're going to hear repeatedly. Occasionally, you might be faced with other objections, but generally, you will hear the same objections. Before you gain the experience, consider your product and write down the objections that might be raised. The most common objection is around price, but there are many others based upon how your product or service is packaged, delivered, the billing, and invoicing. Also consider the categories of objections we have discussed: no need, no hurry, no money, or no trust. Consider each and how you might respond to them. It would be good to role play dealing with these objections with other salespeople or with your manager. You should also ask other salespeople what objections they have faced and the best responses to those objections. Secondly, deal with any objections that are obvious or known objections. For instance, one of the products we sell is the National Collegiate Sales Competition. Sponsorships begin at $10,000. Most organizations that recruit entry-level salespeople attend career fairs that usually require an investment of only $300 to $500. So as I am in the process of establishing their needs, and then as I transition into presenting the solution, the NCSC, I explain that the sponsorship fees are used to pay for the travel of the more than 70 university teams. We pay for the airfare, lodging, and most of the food for more than 200 student competitors and faculty coaches. This alleviates the higher investment in their minds to a degree. But during the need establishment stage, I also ask them to share with me the amount of money they invest in recruiting a single entry-level hire and their investment in the hire's first year. An organization usually invests $10,000 to $15,000 in travel and other expenses, and normally around $50,000 to $70,000 on a new sales hire in the first year. If they use a staffing firm, the staffing firm usually charges 20% to 25% of the first year's salary. So I'm indirectly dealing with the obvious difference in the investment in a single career fair at a single university with the investment they would make in the NCSC. So address any known objections before they arise. Third, you need to empathize with the customer. You should show you care and that you are listening. The first step in the objection handling process is listen and don't interrupt. This contributes to showing that you care, but your attitude and demeanor count. Remember the nonverbals. They count toward convincing the customer that you do care. You may have heard the objection 100 times, and if you show an attitude of, "Oh, I've heard this 1,000 times," through your facial expression, posture, and general demeanor, you'll be less effective and can lose the trust of the customer. Consider using phrases like, "I see what you mean," or "That's understandable," or "You know, that makes sense." That will help lower the customer's guard and allow them to open up to you. Finally, and very importantly, always be honest. Commit to always tell the truth. As we say often, building trust and relationships requires honesty. To avoid situations where you do not know the answer and may be tempted to lie to cover up what you do not know, it is helpful to be thoroughly familiar with your product and the capabilities of your organization regarding delivery times, billing, and other processes. Even if your competitors do not have a policy of being totally truthful, you need to be honest. At times, this may cost you a sale in the short run. You may gain this customer in the future, however, because of the honesty that you've shown here. Regardless, telling the truth is simply the right thing to do. So to summarize, anticipate objections and develop common sense responses. Deal with known objections before they are raised. And be empathetic with your customers. Finally, always tell the truth.